Hello and welcome everybody, my name is Savage and today we're going to be having a look at BTC. We've just been moving sideways for the most part overnight, but we're going to investigate where we think this is going and what we see as a likely option from here. First off, I'd like to say thank you for watching this video. If you'd like to show your support and you haven't already, please smash that subscribe button. If you're enjoying the content, hit that like button and leave us some feedback in the comment section down below. Okay, so let's get into the price action. So we talked about a few things yesterday. For the most part, these possibilities are still pretty much the same. The structure here isn't giving me a lot of confidence for the potential of the breakout here that we were talking about. And if I just turn that on, actually, let's turn this off. And this smaller impulse, um, it is still possible as we haven't lost this low point here of the 16,791. Though it is looking unlikely now because we would effectively have this combination of 1 2 1 2 1 2s, because we'd have to, if we were going to count this as an impulse, we'd have to look at this again as a 1 2 within this if we're looking at a regular impulse, which it could be for the most part, but losing this 1679 16,791 would actually invalidate that. So, and looking at this move to the downside, if we were going to look at it as just a regular ABC, you could see that 1-to-1 would bring us down to the 16,764. It is, however, possible that we push up a little bit more, and we could look at this as a flat correction potentially in this move here, which could look to push us up a bit higher before having that move to the downside, which would keep this intact. However, it is also likely that we just move down and we actually invalidate this as we have it marked here. So if that does happen, then the only way that I could see this as a potential. The problem is this fifth, so I'll go through it. What I was thinking initially was that actually we might have a diagonal pattern here where this is a 1 2 3 4 5 like this. However, the wave 3 meets the criteria, but this wave 5 doesn't. This wave 5 should be longer than this wave 3, and it's not. So that sort of invalidates that as a diagonal from that point. We could argue that potentially we still have a diagonal forming here, and actually where we're starting from is this point here, which would be 1, 2, all of this is a 3, looking for this as a fourth wave low, and then a fifth wave to the upside. So if that is the case, once again, either way, we can't cross this 16,791. It's not looking very good in the sense of trying to look for a breakout to the upside here. If we do manage to get a push up from this low point here, or even if we push down a little bit lower, to be fair, as long as we don't cross this 16,791 zone, there is still that potential for that upside as we had it shown within this move. The thing with this is we'd really want to start seeing some impulsive movement to the upside if this is playing out, and if this was an additional 1 2, because basically if we don't, we would be looking at oh, there we go. We've had a little bit of a move down. It's probably going to invalidate this option as we're doing this, but okay. So basically what we'd be looking for is this is a 1 2 again, like we just said, and we would be looking for a move up to this zone of sort of the 17,108 as a typical third wave move, which would effectively then lead us to have an additional 1 2 3 4 5. So this would change all the structure slightly, and would indicate that there is some extension going on here. The alternative, though, is we can just see this as an ABC up until this point, and if I remove these again, what we can just see is if we just count this as an A, a B, and a C wave to the upside, then it is also possible that what we could be doing is something like we talked about here. The only thing that is unclear about this is because we've got this 5-wave move to start with here, and it doesn't seem to fit this current structure. Because if I just go ahead and I throw this onto here, which we can have as an A, potentially a B, have to see the and then let's see into this low here. So there is potential that we could have a triangle forming here. That's one option. We could have something in the form of this happening here. Where this would be our B wave low, and this would be our, sorry, that would be our A wave low, this would be our B wave low, and we're looking to form some kind of a triangle within this shape. And then this would actually be, if I just remove these again, remove this flat correction, then this could all potentially just be an a B, and a C to the upside, which would fit in with, if I throw this back on now, would fit in with this B wave move that we were talking about earlier, well, yesterday. And that would then effectively look at this whole move as a ABC to the upside here. And then we would be looking to target out roughly, I mean, we don't have the endpoint, but towards this 17,124 zone. So if this does play out, though, we wouldn't be looking to cross back above this point here. Let me just mark this up quickly. Okay, so basically within this move, if I remove these ABCs and I just mark it out as a triangle, the thing is with these triangles, we only get confirmation once we have the D wave move. So we can argue that we're forming the C wave now, and that we'll be looking for that D wave next and that E wave to the upside. So the invalidations of this forming as a triangle would come by actually dropping below this point here of 16,000. Actually, sorry, it's over here. Should be 16,727. And basically what we'd be looking for then is for this to complete as a five wave, or sorry, as a zigzag to the downside. And we'd want to see this be sort of, we'd want to see this stay above that low point that we talked about at 16,700, I've forgotten the number again, 16,727. But we could see this develop in a zigzag to the downside here, and then breaking this low point of the 16,791, and then progress within these channel lines. It wouldn't be able to move down below that point or above 16,972. If we move above those 2 points, then this triangle idea becomes invalidated, and we would have to just look at one of the other options. So what do we have then as other options? If I remove the stuff that I don't need anymore, this triangle, let's get them off here, and this ABC. So basically, this still could play out, like I said, if we stay above the 1679. And what we'd be looking for is that move past this 17,140 zone for additional waves to form off of this. Alternatively, we could actually just have this as a A, this is a B completed, and we're looking to push down in a C wave. And if I just remove these again, what we'd be looking for with that is potentially what we could have here is all of this is an A, this is a B wave to the upside, and we're looking to form some kind of a flat correction here. If that's the case, what we'd be looking for is a 5-wave move to the downside, and effectively this doesn't give a lot of confidence into the fact that we're actually within a 5-wave move here. We can argue that we're setting like a 1-2-1-2 situation, but what we'd want to see off of the current structure, if this is playing out and we're looking for a 5-wave, effectively what we'd want to see is the typical 3rd wave move down towards this 16,682 area. That would then indicate that what we have is something to this. Where's my? There it is. Okay. So then this would indicate we have something like this forming, where we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 to the downside. And if that does happen, potentially we could look to target out a bit lower here, and that would be then 0.618. So somewhere within the 16,661 to the 16,630. So with that being said, what we would be looking at then, if that does play out, is actually what we could have here is all of this becomes a either a wave 1 or an A wave. This becomes a B wave, and then we would be looking for that 3rd wave to the upside. So if this does play out as we have it indicated here, it would indicate that basically either we're going to form a bigger 5-wave move here, and then we're going to get this this ABC scenario playing out, this one, where we're looking to target up towards this 1-to-1 area. Though if we throw a fib onto this now, we can actually, it's from this point here. Yeah, it is from this point here. So if we go back into that zone, we could look for the impulsive trigger of this move effectively being this 17,800 and 181. The only issue I have with this is this wave would have become quite big then, this B wave. So that would indicate to me that it becomes less likely, because it would mean that the fourth wave would be big as well. So the fourth waves tend to be at least 100% of this wave too. So what that would effectively mean is if we did have that as a 5-wave move, we'd have a third wave, and then this fourth wave would start getting like really disproportionate. So it's just something that's worth keeping an eye on. I think this might actually look to potentially revisit this area here, and what we've had is just an A, B, and a C, and we could just come back down. If we do start to break this 16,791 zone and this zone here of 16,721, my next sort of area that I'd be looking at is within this box area here of 16,654 to the 16,423. Moving down into this would potentially then make this all just an ABC into this zone, like this, where this is an A wave, B wave, and a C wave coming down into here. And then we look to play out from this zone another 5-wave move to the upside. Depending exactly where this lands within this move, we could potentially look to test this low again, or we could find support above these zones and look to progress back to the upside here. Though we really want to see some progression happening now if this isn't an impulse, because it's sort of just moving sideways, and we need to see some progression. Otherwise it's just gonna, the chances become less and less that it's actually going to play out as an impulsive structure. If we do, however, start to break down and we take this low out here at the 16,559, that would be confirmation that we are actually still within this B wave, or we've actually started a move to the downside in that wave 3. Though I was expecting it still to come a bit higher here. So that is, I do think we have a bit of room to growth to the upside. How we get there is a bit confusing at the moment with the structure. Could be that we have a bigger triangle, like I said, playing out here, or there could be a smaller triangle within there. We could even have, the problem is I don't really like the internal structure of this, but we could have something play out like this, where we have a bigger triangle like this playing out, and this will actually just become A, B, and C to the upside. We need more time for this to play out if this is the case, but should we carry on moving range bound like this and failing to break back above these high points here, so failing to break back above this high point of 16,972 and also failing to break below the 16,559, then it is possible we could actually be within a triangular pattern here, and we could look to move to the upside once it completes. So those are the things that we're currently looking out for. I'm sorry that I can't give you any more information than that. Basically, the other options that we talked about yesterday are all still valid. There really isn't much else to say on the matter. We just need to give these moves like some time to play out. Basically, this could be within this third wave already, though it's not very clear how it would be, but it is possible. Until proven otherwise, until we break these low points that we talked about today, there is sort of a lot of potential. So yeah, we're going to just leave it there for today, and we'll see how these waves progress. Maybe later on during the day, some moves would have happened that would have taken out some of these lows, and we'll have a better understanding, in which case I'll try and do another video. But until then, I think we're just going to leave it here, and then we will reevaluate it as we get the moves. Okay, well, I hope everyone found the video useful. If you did, please smash that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and why not leave us some feedback down in the comment section below. Also in the description below, you'll find the link to Discord. Why not come have a chat with us? It's free to join. Jump in the general chat area and mention a member of staff. We'll be happy to help you out. Okay, well, take care everybody, and we'll see each other in the next video.